Normally, we engage the clients when they've created the bank account as Bobby usually instructs, and then at that point, once they create the bank account, they usually engage us at that point because the business plan is usually part of the investment as well. So it's important to kind of keep that as a business expense. And then we kind of walk them through the first steps as far as how we'll start writing. Basically, we always start with a questionnaire that just has basic questions about the business and a list of documents we suggest to have, such as lease agreements, CVs, purchase agreements, any kind of articles of incorporation. There's a full list, as well as basic questions about the business. What is the location? What is the business model? What are the products and services? Any specific clients that they're working on or focusing their marketing efforts on? Take all that information. I would then assign a project manager at that point to review all the information that was sent. They would understand kind of the basics of the operations. And then that project manager would follow up with the client to gather any remaining details they might need, get any kind of confirmations, clarifications, just because we don't want to start writing without being literally on the same page with the client. So we'll gather that information. We will then start our timeline of 7 to 10 business days for an E2 business plan. We'll then deliver our first draft to Bobby and his team for review, and as well as the client. The client would give us feedback for any kind of changes or edits from a business description standpoint and their business vision for the next 5 years, because of course, they kind of know more about that than us in the beginning. And so we kind of just want to align that for the next few years. They'll give us feedback for any of those edits or changes. And Bobby will, of course, give us feedback from an immigration strategy, legal standpoint, just to make sure that we're following the narrative that he'd like us to form for the client, the story they want to tell. We'll make those changes within 24 to 48 hours, come back with a new draft. Usually it takes maybe 2 or 3 drafts just to get everything just right. But first draft is usually a pretty working draft. And then once we get everything perfect with all the content and everything is aligned to Bobby's immigration strategy, meets the client's expectations as far as business description, we'll go ahead and finalize it. We will graphically design it. So that's one of the items that we actually ask with the questionnaire. We'll install them into the business plan and make it look nice and professional in the end. So normally that business plan in E2 is somewhere approximately between 30 to 35 pages. Takes us approximately 2 weeks for the first draft, and then 1 week after that, usually to go back and forth to Bobby and get everything perfect. But it can take a little longer. We understand that sometimes clients have other things to do in their life besides read business plans and come back to us with comments. So we're well aware of that, and really we're very patient with our process. And we know there's a lot of moving parts to go through when it comes to the E2, lots of investments to make and different kinds of steps.
Thanks for watching our video. If you found it helpful, please consider liking, commenting, or subscribing. If you have any questions or need clarifications, feel free to reach out to us. We appreciate your support and look forward to bringing you more valuable tips about the E2 visa.